think it is incredibly real what happened to our son, but I think it's also a massive opportunity.
So that doesn't happen to another family.
Which is why you're sitting down with me, right?
Yeah.
Because it's bloody hard for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what are your hopes in that respect?
No one ever goes through this again.
I think what we know is that the 3 boys that were together, that were all under 18, 2 of them 16, were served 8 times. We understand that the 3 places that served them have all admitted that they served them and thought they were 18. That's their asylum. Didn't ID anyone.
One place asked if they were 18, but didn't follow it through with a ID check or anything.
It was 3 boys who just, for some reason, decided to have an adventure and
Trying it on,
and then not necessarily, by the sound of it, something they had done prior. Silas was in a great mood. He'd had his leg brace taken off a day or 2 days before, and the boys were having a beer, and then he'd managed to buy some Jägermeister, 700 mils of Jägermeister that day, 750, and he buys his Jägermeister, the boys get on it, they scull some Jägermeister, still get in their cars, go to this pub, get asked if they're 18, they say, yes, which I guess you would if you were 16. 5:30, they turn up into this little town and they go to the liquor store, buy some more RTDs, and then...
Silas would have been well
drunk.
Well drunk by then.
And then 10 minutes later, he's in a pub. And again, we haven't seen that CCTV, but we have seen the CCTV from 5 minutes later, 5 minutes before he died, and he's all over the shop. He's in the 4 Square where he bought a juice, and he's just, I can't see if he's slurring because we don't know, right? But he is all over. He's swaying and stumbling. And at this point, his mate's trying to take the keys off him, but his mate's drunk, and Silas would have just thought it was a bit of a game. I don't know what he thought. He drove off. And 5 minutes later, he had a concrete post. And his mates were just behind him and they couldn't find them. And then they turned around, look. And I guess he was gone in a second.
If we go back, in that CCTV footage where he's staggering around and quite obviously intoxicated, how long before that had he been served alcohol?
10 minutes.
So there's several laws being broken there, right? I mean, you're not allowed to serve any intoxicated person, let alone a 16-year-old.
Yeah, and then that was only 25 minutes after he got the RTDs as well. So he didn't get that drunk from one drink at the pub. So again, he would have been stumbling in the liquor store. There's no way he could have looked sober.
What are your thoughts about that? Just not enough care being taken to respect the law and to respect life in that sense.
When we looked at the laws, over the next couple of days, we're like, there's, immediate suspensions, there's immediate fines, and we kept on driving past the venues and keep on seeing them open, and it's like, we couldn't work out why. Like the law says immediate, and it turns out it's immediate when it actually gets to the courts, and it's not a normal court. There's specialist courts that only sit, once a caseload is built up. They don't sit for one. So could be months and months away, and then they're just operating as normal. There's no.
And that's the case as we're speaking today, isn't it? That they're still open.
Yeah.
And you would argue that they make it really hard for police, like to prosecute this retrospectively. Probably where we came to after that, like, immediately you're just horrified and it's rubbish and you realise the law doesn't work. I can't imagine what it would be like to go to sleep knowing that you'd sold 750 mils of Jägermeister to a 16-year-old who then died,
And we're not holding any blame or any...
Not at all. It was our son.
It was our son did it.
But the point of the law here is that it's meant to protect, and I don't think the way the law's set up at the moment is doing that.
He was being served even on the night multiple times, and there had been lots of other occasions, so this is just...
It's prevalent. I think it's, and especially in rural areas, because also the alcohol harm cops said that they don't do rural CPOs and testing, so the guys aren't worried about it.
Just for the uninitiated, a CPO is a controlled purchase operation, isn't it? It's effectively a sting operation when you legitimise the person going in with the idea of catching them out if they break the law.
One of the statements for the Jägermeister showed up at like midnight on Saturday, and we couldn't work out actually what time it was purchased. And then one of the other boys that he was with said, that's that store. It always shows up at midnight. They must routinely sell to underage people. Otherwise, how can you know it always shows up?
And a lot of these purchases were made on his own bank card under his own name, right?
Yep.
And you've got an interesting idea, Ben. It sounded like quite a pragmatic and doable solution.
I'm a programmer, that's my job. When we worked out that he had, looking at his statement, he had brought the alcohol, and it's like, well, why wasn't it blocked? Why wasn't it flagged? Like, he used his card, the banks know he's under 18. There should be, in case of the off license, you can't even step inside the shop if you're underage.
In a bottle store.
In a bottle store, yeah. So their business classification in the bank should be restricted goods. It should flag it on the card. It should flag it as decline for age verification or whatever, and boom, he wouldn't have been able to buy the...
And they already do it, right? They do it for gamblers, and I recognise the gamblers choose to have this on, or the family does.
But it shows you that it's technically very feasible to do.
Yeah, in theory, they could turn it on tomorrow.
There's no hardware changes. It's purely code.
So it technically would be pretty easy to implement.
It'd be extremely easy. Yeah.
And these are all things that are in the government's capacity to change, right? So you'd like to see Nicole McKee consider these things, higher fines, getting more resources into increasing the number of sting operations, and just taking it more seriously and making sure that there's more consequences for selling to minors, right?
Yeah, let's get rid of the red tape on the prosecutions and stuff.
I guess I've probably put you through enough. I guess a final word from both of you to Nicole McKee about what the consequences of doing nothing might be.
Nicole, you would have loved Silas. He was deer shooting a week before, or trying to, with his broken leg. And he's just a lad. As a 13-year-old, he took himself up the bush for a night to just do a solo by himself. He said he's just one of those boys that...
He's a
born hunter, just
outdoors.
born outdoors kid. And he's a real loss to New Zealand. He would have been awesome dad, awesome worker.
Awesome uncle.
And you have the ability, with just some little changes, to really improve this.